Hey folks, see Rachana Ranade here and I welcome you all to the budget special video series. Now what we are going to do is that we are going to release multiple videos before the budget, and what we are going to do is we are going to analyze different PLI schemes which are expected to be announced in this budget. We'll also try and understand which sector does this PLI relate to, and also we'll try and understand which stocks relate to this specific sector. So first and foremost, which sector are we going to focus on today? That is the electronics sector, which contributes almost 3.4% of India's GDP. In fact, the government has kept aside 17 billion US dollars, that amounts to almost 1.4 trillion INR, for over the next 6 years. For what? For PLI schemes. In which sectors? It is sectors like semiconductor and design, smartphones, IT hardware and components. Okay, so I hope you are understanding how much money they have kept aside so that these sectors can get a real boost. Now, the MeitY is nothing but Ministry of Electronics and IT. Okay, MeitY expects that the overall India's electronic manufacturing industry will grow at a CAGR of almost 32% from 2021 to 2026. So from 21 to 26, this sector, electronics manufacturing industry or electronics manufacturing sector, is expected to grow at a 32% CAGR. You will be like, okay, Rachana, we understood that government has kept this much money aside. Okay, this sector is expected to grow at 32% CAGR. How much does it contribute to GDP? Everything is understood. But how does it correlate with the budget 2024? That's what we are going to discuss right now. That it is expected that in this budget 2024, a 40,000 crore rupees PLI will be announced in the electronic sub-assemblies and component sector. Now, you have understood that this is a big one, 40,000 crores PLI scheme for electronic sub-assemblies, but which companies are in this specific sector? For that, what I could immediately think of is three companies. Number one, Dixon. Okay. This is a company which we have discussed in absolute detail in our Pro Investor membership. So if you are not yet Pro Investor, then please check out our website rachanaranade.com. That's where you will see our Pro Investor membership. This is a membership where we discuss one stock from each and every sector in absolute detail. The whole thought process is to enable you to do your own analysis of companies from different sectors. Okay, so Dixon has already been covered in that. Second one is Keynes Tech, which we are going to discuss today, Keynes Technologies. Third one is Amber Enterprises, and Amber you have to do as a homework. Okay, you have to understand what does the company do and tell me in the comment section whatever you have understood about Amber. Now, you might have this question that are these only three companies which belong to this sector? So the answer is no, there could be many more companies, but what I have done is a basic market capitalization ka filter I've put. Okay, minimum 15,000 should be the market capitalization. I'm sure you are aware, if you have been following my channel from the beginning, we generally don't discuss penny stocks or very small cap stocks. So 15,000 is a decent enough market capitalization. Now, if you feel that I'm going to discuss about Keynes Tech today, is this a stock recommendation? And answer is no. Okay, I'm just going to tell you how this stock can benefit from the PLI. Okay, and will this stock only benefit? No, Dixon will also benefit, Amber will also benefit, but we'll discuss about this in detail today. Okay, now let us first try and understand about why India is wanting to focus so much on this electronics manufacturing sector as a whole. We want to be not only Atmanirbhar in this category, but we want to become a global manufacturing hub. So manufacture not only for India, but manufacture for the world. As on date, we do around $15 billion worth production in India. Big one, right? Now let's compare this with China. China stands at $900 billion. We are at $15 billion. Okay. So I hope you have understood that, yes, we are dreaming big, but are we in the race? Not really. Still a long way to go. We have to strategize this properly so that we can actually go in the race. Okay. Now, what is government wanting to do so that we boost our production? That is where the PLI comes in place. But the question is that just because government is announcing PLIs, will this solve the problem? The answer is no. We have to understand what are the problems that are there in this sector and how PLI can actually solve for this. The first problem that we have is the high cost of capital as compared to other countries like China. Now, can cost of capital come down? Yes, if the interest rate cycle plays out, if the interest rates go down, obviously cost of capital will be less. That can be ticked off, not a big deal. Second point is about access to technology and the near absent skill set. So what we need to have right now is we should have that requisite technology so that we can manufacture all these semiconductors, these chips and all that. Okay. Now, problem is understood that the technology is not present. Question is, what is the solution for that? Solution can be actually entering into joint ventures with companies who know about this technology. Okay. Now, question is, which companies are these who know the requisite, or who are aware about that requisite skill set, those who possess that technology? Number one, we said Chinese companies. So maybe government will not allow that. We have to understand, are there any other countries who have been able to crack that code? And answer is yes. East Asian economies, someone like Hong Kong stands at $320 billion in this space. Taiwan stands at $183 billion. South Korea stands at $148 billion. And by the way, these are numbers of 2020, 21. Okay. But again, Hong Kong is as good as China. Okay. So again, maybe we won't get there. But maybe Taiwan and South Korea is what we could explore with as partnership with partnership with companies belonging to these countries. And the whole idea is, number one, do a JV, and number two, first globalize and then localize. First create a brand name at a global level. If that be so, localizing is comparatively easy. Okay, I think I've given one of the biggest introductions till date on my YouTube channel, because this was about understanding the whole ecosystem first, understanding at a sectoral level first, and then digging down into a company detail. Okay, so today we are going to discuss about Keynes Technologies. But the big question is, has it entered into an agreement with some company from Taiwan or Hong Kong or whatever? That's what we are going to understand in the next section of the video. So now let's understand about Keynes Technologies. This company was incorporated back in 2008. Today it is listed both on BSE and NSE. It's mainly an electronic manufacturing company, and it's also into the IoT space. Okay, I'm just telling you about the basics. If you want to learn more into the details, you can definitely check out their annual report. But right now, like we have understood, okay, it's an electronics manufacturing company. But which electronic components do they manufacture, or where are their products used? For that, have a look at this. Now you'll understand that whatever electronic components they manufacture, it's used in the automotive industry, industrial and EVs, railways, medical, aerospace, defense, IoTs. But just to give you one or two examples which we may know. Number one, in automotive space, they manufacture cluster PCBAs. You might have seen these, okay? Or if it is about industrial and EVs, they manufacture the street light controller. So basically, you might have seen in your city as well that whenever the sun sets, automatically the street lights turn on. So that is something like a street light controller. They also make smart energy meters. Okay, in railways, they make some products which I don't understand, AFTC and interlocking, whatever it is used in railways. Okay, medical also, glucose meter we can understand. Okay, to check the diabetes levels. In aerospace and defense also, they make certain air data sensors, and of course few more, something like thermal imaging systems. And in IoT and IT, they again have some sensors. Okay, we understood what products they make, but who are their customers? Their customers include big names like Siemens and Hitachi. Other, even if I read it out for you, we don't know it, but apparently they are big ones. Froscher in railway segment, IJL in automotive, Agape and Beat O in medical segment, Tonbo Imaging and Canyon Aeroconnect in aerospace. I'm sure you didn't know about these names, neither did I. But anyways, we should know that who are their customers, right? Siemens, Hitachi, everyone knows. Fantastic. Now that we know what does the company do, we know it's into electronic manufacturing. We know that their products are used in various segments. Okay. We also know who are their key customers. Now let's understand that whenever Keynes manufactures certain products, what is the whole ecosystem? Okay. Now if you have a look at this, you'll understand that company has this end-to-end thing from system design to IC design, IC front-end, IC back-end, PCB manufacturing, SMT assembly, front-end, back-end, and ultimately system assembly. Now you might be like, kaits nahi karla, I didn't understand anything. Okay, no worries. We'll understand one by one, okay? Currently, what is company doing? Currently, you can see our current operations of Keynes. They are doing two things. SMT assembly, front-end, back-end, and systems assembly. So, how can a non-science, non-engineering student visualize this? Okay, system assembly means what? You can imagine that this company is, let us say, making something. If you remember, I had given that example of smart meters, correct? Now, for that smart meter, you can imagine that they would purchase some products. Okay, and what they are doing essentially is that they are doing an assembly of those products and selling it. Okay, because now if you break open a smart meter, you can imagine that there will be a PCB, printed circuit board. Okay, if you have never seen that, try and drop your calculator, the normal calculator, this one. Okay, you can drop that calculator. Once you break it open, then you will see that printed circuit board inside that. Okay, that's how it looks like. Or on the screen also, the green one that you can see, that's like a printed circuit board. Okay, so you can imagine that if someone breaks a smart electric meter, inside that there will be small electronic components. There will be a PCB on which a lot of them will be mounted. Okay, so are they manufacturing all of these? No, currently they are buying them, they are assembling them, both front and back end both, and after assembling they are selling it. Okay, but is it like you can imagine something like those, what do we call, building blocks kind of thing. Okay, buy the blocks, build it and sell. It's not that easy. Okay, these are electronic components, so a lot of engineering goes inside that. Even though I might sound like, gee, this is such a basic thing they are doing, a lot of engineering stuff goes inside this. Okay, this is the current operation, agreed. Now what they are doing is something really interesting. They are going into backward integration into OSAT and bare PCB manufacturing. You'll be like, now what is this? PCB manufacturing. Earlier what they were doing? They were buying the PCB, okay, and they were mounting things on that. They were assembling and selling. Now they are going to manufacture that PCB. Easy, understood. So bare PCB manufacturing is understood. What is this backward integration into OSAT? What is this OSAT? So OSAT ka full manufacturing process is what they have discussed here. Okay. By the way, OSAT is nothing but outsourced semiconductor assembly and testing. Okay. But to understand what does it do, here we'll understand the whole process. Okay. I'm sure you might have heard about chips, semiconductor chips, which are really in demand. Are they directly going to manufacture that chip right from scratch? Answer is no. Okay. First, what happens is that a wafer is purchased. You'll be like, wafer and chips generally we use interchangeably. That is for eating, not for this. Wafer is different, chip is different. Okay, wafer is what they will purchase. Now you can see this is what the wafer will look like, and you can see here, I'll just try and zoom this in. Okay, wow, this wafer is what they have purchased. Now they'll dice it. Okay, this is like blue and green, blue and yellow. What you can see here, that diced one is the yellow parts that they get. So it'll be like one diamond shape is what they will get after dicing. Okay, now this is that diamond blade that is diced. So it's not again very chindi process, like asa tak 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 asa karun nahi. There is a big process involved here. You can read it whenever time permits. Okay, now this chip is basically mounted on what? Mounted this here you can see process of attaching a silicon IC chip to the die pad of the support structure. So that small diamond is now mounted on something. Now what happens here, they have to talk to each other, that base and the mounted chip, they have to talk to each other. For that, what is done, these wires, you can see here, small wires are bounded here. Wire bonding is done. This is basically gold wire, a thin gold wire through which this gold wire bonding will be done. Now this is very, very delicate. It can get affected by scratches, shock, dust, and for that you can imagine there'll be a casing. That is nothing but molding or encapsulation, basically dubbi. Okay, there'll be a case for that. Okay, and ultimately this will be mounted on a PCB. Okay, why did I tell you so much? Because that is what they are going to do now. This is the whole OSAT manufacturing process. Many people feel that we have already started the semiconductor manufacturing. No, we don't manufacture this whole thing. What we are still into the assembly process. So I hope you have understood that in this whole chain, in this whole ecosystem, earlier they were doing last two steps. Now we are going back and we are also doing these two steps. So this is how we have to go slowly and steadily, and that's what Keynes is doing. But is it doing this entire thing on its own? From where are they getting this technology to do it? For that, they have entered into a JV. JV with whom? Aptos Technologies. Wait, Aptos is an Indian company? No, it's a subsidiary of a it's a Taiwanese company, Taiwan Mass Corporation. Okay. So I hope now you can get that as a backlink. Number one. Number two, has Keynes Technologies directly entered into the JV? Answer is no. Keynes Semicon has entered into this JV. Who is Keynes Semicon? It's a wholly owned subsidiary of Keynes Technologies India Limited. Okay. So what did we learn in this section? We talked about Keynes. Keynes, is it directly going to, do this semiconductor thing? No, it is going to do this through its private limited company. That private limited company has entered into a JV with whom? Taiwanese company. What are they going to do? Basically, they are going to enter into a JV for what? Offering personnel technical training and know-how licensing. And basically, what they are going to do is, with the help of this training and know-how licensing, they are going to ultimately enter into that OSAT process. I hope this part is clear. In the next part, we'll understand more into details about what the future plans of this company are. Now let's move on with a little bit more about Keynes Tech. Right now, they plan to do a volume of 1 billion chips. That's what their CEO said. Now, to do that, of course, they need some PLI support, and they have also made an application for a semiconductor scheme, which is about 76,000 crore rupees ka incentive scheme. Okay. Now, have they already received the approval? Answer is no. They have currently filed for the application. The application has been filed. Approval is still pending. But I was just checking out one of the interviews of their director and CFO, wherein he had mentioned, this was a video almost 3-4 weeks ago ka video, and in that he said that in next few weeks we should ideally get the approval, is what he mentions in that video, right? So let's see when they get the approval. When they get that, I'm sure the price action will be really interesting to watch on that day when they get the actual approval. But as of now, what they're saying that yes, this is about the approval for the chip assembly and test OSAT, basically unit in Telangana. Now, are they going to work only with the Telangana government? Answer is obviously no. They would also want to expand their operations in other states as well. They are open for that as well, right? Now, we did talk about their current plan. We did talk about what JV they have done outside India. Now, one interesting JV may come up with 2 Indian companies coming together. Keynes is in talk with Ola, where Ola is saying that currently whatever their semiconductor requirements is, they are currently buying it from whom? From Qualcomm and from MediaTek. Now they say that instead of buying it from Qualcomm and MediaTek, what we could do is we could partner with Keynes and we could ask them to manufacture the chips based on our requirement. Now, whenever I say manufacturing chips, I hope you understand that wafer anyways we are going to import. Not from scratch we are going to manufacture. But that at least that entire OSAT process that I told you right now, that they can get into with collaboration with Ola. And if that really happens, this will be like truly make in India thing, because this is 2 homegrown companies, Ola and Keynes, coming together to make it big. So that again will be pretty interesting to watch. Now, with this, let's also understand about the financials. First, I'll show a quick snapshot. Fantastic order book. Their order book is of 41,152 million. Current revenue is 8. We'll talk about revenue, EBITDA and all that from screener. ROE, ROC is also good. Working capital has decreased from 99 days to 83 days. Net debt to equity is also just 0.1. Now, digging down into details, for that let's go to screener, and for that have a look at this. So current market cap is 26,992. Stock PE is a big pain. It's at 147. Huge stock P. Industry P is 94. But like I told you, the ROE, ROC both are good. One amazing point you might have seen in the thumbnail: sales growth 60%, profit growth 92.8%. Amazing, right? Now, if I go directly to the P&L, have a look at this. Look at the top line growth. From 368 crores to 421 crores, 706, 1126 and 1805 crores, right? We'll also talk about the revenue guidance that the management has given. Operating profit, how does it go? From 43 crores to 254 crores. And look at the PAT numbers: 11 crores, 11 crores, 59 crores, 126 crores and 232 crores. Fantastic profit growth as well. Look at the reserves. Reserves have grown from 96 crores to 2,423 crores. And if you look at the debt to equity ratio also, that's like absolutely amazing. Operating cash flow last year, 23 was negative. Other than that, current cash flow from operating activities is positive at 70 crores. If I look at the shareholding pattern, something pretty interesting. If I go to the yearly one, you'll see that promoters have slightly reduced their stake, but FIIs have gone up from 8% to 14%. DIIs have gone up from 12% to 18%. Public is selling. They have gone down from 15% to 9%. But all in all, I hope you have understood that yes, their revenues are overall, basically overall financial numbers look good. Risk, high PE. But if I'm talking about the revenues, the revenue number currently was definitely in an increasing trend, was somewhere around 1800 crores towards the end. What is their guidance? I am not giving any guidance. Management gives guidance. I'm just telling whatever management has told. Management guidance for 2025 is 3000 crores, and by the end of FY28, their guidance, revenue guidance is 8500 crores. So, good financials. Now, in the next section, which is the last section, we'll talk about the technicals of the company. Two key points as far as technical analysis is concerned. If you are my student, you already know this. Which chart pattern is this? It has given a breakout, but is this retesting? It is. Okay. So today, as I shoot the video, stock is down by almost 3.26%. So be careful whenever you are analyzing any chart pattern. You should know what the chart pattern is, what is the breakout level, what is the retest level. You already know this if you have done my technical analysis course, right? So let me know in the comment section. Second thing, if you want to understand about supports and resistance, what I've done is I have just joined this high with this high and multiple touch points here as well. So once a resistance, try to go there, try to go to this level, again tried, finally breakout. So once a resistance, typically then it acts as a support. This is a normal basic point about technical analysis. So earlier this was the resistance level, now this same ideally acts as a support. Okay, so I hope you have understood this technical analysis as well. I hope this you enjoyed this very different sort of analysis about Keynes. What I try to do is whatever is available on the internet, because you going through all the websites and this, that, and finally coming down with your own studies becomes a little bit difficult. So what I try to do is whatever is available on the internet, I try to do a summary of that and present it in front of you. If you like the summary, don't forget to smash the like button. Don't forget to share this video with your friends. I hope you loved this one. Till then, take care. Jai Hind and bye-bye.